Alright guys, it's time for a watermelon update. This vine has really picked up in growth, especially the vines back here. I got 3 of them, one here, and third one right here. They're taking a lot of energy from the plant, but once I get a fruit, I'm gonna cut the growing tips off and leave the leaves so it can have some extra leaves, but have the energy directed toward the main vine. I'm not gonna cut the main vine because I want that to keep growing in order to have sustainability of more leaves coming in, because a lot of people cut off the main growing vine once they get a fruit or two, but I don't think that you should do that because more leaves, you get more photosynthesis, which turns into energy for the plant, so the more leaves you have, the better. But I would cut the secondary edges off just because, especially the ones towards the back, because they're like suckers on a tree. They take a lot of energy, so. But overall, this plant is looking really good. They got 2 flowers gonna bloom tomorrow. That one and this one. And the way you can tell when they're gonna open is, you see how they're, okay, this one's a bit green here. Like, okay. Right there. It's a bit green. See how this one's got a yellow tint to it? That means they're gonna open the next day. So we got those 2 male flowers gonna open, and then we have a female flower right there that should open tomorrow as well. And I'm gonna pollinate that probably at like 6 in the morning. It's awfully early. It may not take because it's so early. Usually the best time to pollinate them is anywhere from about 7 to 10, I would say, before it really heats up, because any temperatures above 95, you have chances for it to not pollinate because the heat. But I'm not gonna be the one pollinating it. I'm gonna have someone else do it because I'm gonna pollinate with one of the flowers, and then I'm gonna have someone come out here at like 8, 9 o'clock and do it with the other flower, because I'm gonna be out fishing, so I won't be back for a while, probably till 1. So hopefully it takes. If it takes and starts growing, I will do an update in a few days, and it should be substantially bigger. Because the last time I grew watermelons, they double in size on a daily if it's pollinated. But overall, the vine is probably 4 feet, almost 5. These are about 1 foot long each. Then this one's about 1.5 feet. The leaf size, really good. Some people say the indicator of the size of your leaves, the size of your fruit, it can indicate the size of the fruit. So I would say I have some fairly large leaves on this. But this, I did notice over the past few days, there have been, like, on the stem and stuff and the hairs, there have been some little eggs. I keep peeling them off every time I come out here a few times a day. I notice new ones that I missed, or maybe they're laying there in the day, but I think they're melonworm eggs. Here's a little female flower right here. The eggs, melonworms, they're a very devastating pest because they'll eat through your leaves. They'll leave the veins, but they eat all the leaf tissue and flower tissue, and they leave it pretty bare, and they can do it within less than a week. So they can strip a whole vine of all its leaves. So I've been thoroughly picking the eggs off, but I've noticed that, so I've got to deal with those, because I don't like to spray the watermelon with any pesticides because of the fact that every time I have in the past, the sunlight, it stays on the plant and the sunlight burns it, and you'll end up with this on a much larger scale, like burn, and it's really bad. So any cucurbit vines, like the pumpkin, squash, watermelon, anything that family, they don't handle pesticides and sunlight very well. So yeah, and there have been a few whiteflies and aphids and a few spots in the back of powdery mildew, so I'm going to try and control that. I'm only looking to get 1 fruit off of this plant, 1 big one, because it's only in a 3-gallon container. It's not very large. So judging for a 3-gallon container, this plant is extremely healthy. I really couldn't have asked for a better plant, but I am going to hopefully get that one pollinated, and we'll see if it turns into a melon. And it should take anywhere from about 40 to 45 days after pollination for the melon to fully ripen. I was looking at timing, so if I can keep this plant alive and healthy for another month and a half, just about, and I might have a ripe melon. So that would be my first actual ripe melon, because every other attempt I have failed to grow a watermelon. It either ended because it died from fungal infections or viral infections due to pest feeding. But this year I've been fairly lucky because the pests have been fairly minimal, but nothing too much. Oh, and my vanilla vine, it's been this size for, I put it into the oak tree and it didn't do very well. And it almost died. I put it in this pot, I put it in regular potting mix, because a lot of people say use peat moss, but I just was like, it wasn't doing anything, so I just put it in here. And I've had it for over 6 months and it has not put out a single leaf, but here we have some new growth. It is finally putting out some new growth, so really, really happy about that. And I will update that when it gets fairly larger. Other than that, it's been a fairly good year for growing, and we're only in the beginning. I might do a second attempt on watermelon, a different variety though, if I can find the golden melons I'm looking for. It's a golden red hybrid. It's a round melon with golden stripes, and it's yellow, and the inside is red. So very unique melon. I've wanted to grow it for a while. If I can succeed with this one, I will try that one. And if I do succeed with this one, I'll try melons every year. So, and I do live here in Florida, so we can grow melons almost year round. There's really no bad time to start. You can plant these in February, and you can even plant them in September and probably still get a harvest. So I will keep you guys updated on this melon plant and how it is doing in a few days. See if the melon got pollinated, but I will see you guys in the next update. Thank you for watching.